Welcome everyone. In this session, we are going to see organic menus, definition, classification, properties, and their sources, as well as fortified organic menus. What is fortified organic menus? So the organic manure, the word derived from a French word, which is manure, means manipulate, to work, or to produce crop. So we can uh, uh, work with the soil to produce the crop. So this is means manure. So from that word, the manure is came, manure, manure. So these manures are substances which are organically produced, like the dead plant and animal waste. So they are capable of supplying plant nutrient in available form. So like fertilizer, how instantly giving nutrient, the same nutrient it will give, but it will take some time. So that's why this organic manure supplying fertilizer in a sustainable, supplying the nutrient in a sustainable manner. So long-term supplying will be happen, even though the nutrient quantity supplied by the manures is very low, it is very stable, and long-term supply can expect from the manures. So they are bulky in nature, having low analytical value, nothing but bulky in even though they are available in large quantity. Example, farmyard manure. The huge amount of farmyard manures are producing, but they are having low analytical value and having no definite composition, because the nutrient content will vary depending on the sources. Like sometimes we can depend on the animal waste, sometimes we can depend on the plant waste. So depending on that, the nutrient content also is vary. So they are always having low analytical value. Low analytical value mean no less amount of nutrient content. As I told earlier, this mainly derived from the dead plant and animal waste. So this is organic manure, which will improve the soil structure in different ways. The organic manure broadly classified into two types. One is bulky organic manure and concentrated organic manure. Bulky organic manure means they available in a bulk amount. So availability is very high, but at the same time the nutrient concentration is very less in this bulky organic manure. But in another hand, if you see the concentrated organic manure, the availability is very less, but the nutrient concentration is somewhat high than bulky organic manures. So this is the main difference between the bulky and concentrated. So this bulky organic manure derived from the animal, plant, and other organic waste and green plant tissues, so that it can available in large quantity. But the concentrated organic manure, they derived from the waste material after extracting the oil, the blood meal, meat meal in a slaughtered house, and bone meal. These are all the concentrated organic manure which are available in a less quantity. So here you can see the further classification of bulky organic manure, classified into two types again. And they are farmyard manure, compost, and farm waste, and town refuses are coming under this category. And another side, you can see green plant tissue, only plant based organic manure, green manure or green leaf manure, and comprises of danger, glycidia, any pulses crops. Okay, so these are all available, they can available in a large quantity, so that they comes under the bulky organic manures. Whereas in the concentrated organic manures, you can see the categories like oil cake. Oil cake, you can extract the oil. For example, groundnut. Groundnut, you will get the oil from that, and the remaining amount of the cakes is very low. Similarly, for all oil producing seeds and blood meal, blood amount of blood collected in a day in slaughterhouse is very less, and the meat meal and some other concentrated organic manures also available from plant animal derived. So the oil cake further classified into two category. One is non-edible, another one is edible. Non-edible means we cannot use it for cattle, so they are non-edible. The cattle will not, we cannot feed the cattle with this neem and other oil cakes. Somewhat of bitterness will show from neem and mahua. so that the cattle will not consume these non-edible oil cakes. And the edible oil cake, the cattle can utilize. So when we are utilizing this oil cake, some amount will go for cattle feed. Only remaining lesser amount of uh, cakes will be available as a manure source. So edible, such as mustard oil cake, groundnut oil cake. So these are all some example of this concentrated organic manures. So the same way they have given some with some example, bulky organic manure or compost or farmyard manure and sewage sludge. Compost, village compost, town compost, vermicompost, and made from town waste products. These are all coming under composting. Means we are decomposing the raw material which is collected from different source. Second one is farmyard manure. So the manures collected means cattle excreta, sheep penning, and poultry manure, the waste obtained from the practices from in the integrated agriculture practices like animal and any plant leftover dead plants. So these things can be collected together and make it as a farmyard manure. Cow dung is a main source for this farmyard manure, and the sewage sludge, the town waste, sewage waste, and the sludges can also be converted after eliminating the unnecessary heavy metals and all, so that we can use these three as a major as bulky organic manure. And green manure, green manure is also another hand coming under bulky organic manure. They can use it from leguminous plant and non-leguminous plant. Leguminous plants are rich in nitrogen. Non-leguminous plant also supply nitrogen, but lesser amount than leguminous plant. And oil cake, the richest source of plant nutrient of all organic manures. So oil cake, we have seen edible cake and non-edible cake. So the edible cake, you can see the mustard oil, groundnut oil, linseed oil, sesame oil. We can use these things for cattle feeding. Actually, this oil cake is coming under the concentrated organic manure, not a bulky organic manure. And the non-edible cake, you can see castor, neem, sunflower. Having said their bitterness, may not use it for feeding the cattle. The other concentrated manures are waste product of slaughterhouse, such as blood meal, bone meal. Then fish product such as fish meal, and guano. Guano is a material obtained from excreta of dead bodies of seabird. The large number of seabird would have been died. Those material can be collected and they can convert into manure. That process, that name is called guano. Guano is the name of the bird. And these are all the concentrated organic manures you can see, like jatrop oil cake, fungami oil cake, and cotton seed oil cake. They can be in available as lumps, so you have to break it and make it fine powder for further use. And some other organic manures derived from the animal waste, like horn and hoof meal. Horn, their horn and hoof, and raw bone meal. The bone digester are available. The bone can be crushed and digested in a digesting vessel, so that it will become soft. Then you can dry it and further grind it and make it fine powder for usage of this organic manure. But this organic manure cannot be used for the field application, only pot application, and sometimes kitchen garden or terrace garden, where you can use it, because they are available in markets nowadays, like in Amazon, Flipkart, or those areas. But if it is available in large quantity in your nearby sources, you can use it for soil application, and it will show a better result. And the effect of organic manures on soil productivity, how the effect will be there in the soil, like physical property, chemical property, biological property. So when compared with the chemical sources of fertilizer, the organic sources are very excellent one in maintaining the quality of soil as well as the production of yield. So physical property, mainly they are improving the soil structure, water holding capacity, aggregates, and porosity, and decrease the compactness of soil. So because it is making the uh, uh, making the soil more porous, so that aggregate will formation, so that easy water movement will happen. So hydraulic conductivity will become a better. Soil temperature is reduced, means regulating that soil temperature. So these are all the main features of a physical property can be regulated or enhancing the physical properties by applying the organic manures. Once the physical property is regulated or becoming very good, the chemical properties automatically will behave in a good manner, like because of the water holding capacity, nutrient holding capacity, the CEC and the essential nutrient availability becomes better, and improve the buffering capacity of soil and increase the colloidal particle, means the finest particle um, of clay will hold more amount of nutrient, and colloidal properties also improve, and solubilize the fixed nutrient. The fixed unavailable or bound nutrient will become available, so that the crop can grow in a better way. And biological property, so because of using the biological or any organic based product, we can naturally improve the microorganism, uh, microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, actinomycetes, and also the earthworm multiplication you can see in the soil whenever you are applying any organic manures. And also the fixation of nitrogen will happen when you are applying the organic manure rather than going alone with the inorganic fertilizer, and the phosphorus content will get solubilized, and this organic manure also supply food for macroorganism for their better growth and activity. You can see the concentration, nutrient concentration of the organic manures, both edible and non-edible oil cake, castor cake, cotton seed cake, karanj cake, mahua, safflower cake. Their nitrogen content, phosphorus content, and potassium content. Their content is when compared with the fertilizer, their content is somewhat lesser, but their effect is much better than the inorganic fertilizer in a long term basis. Once you apply an inorganic fertilizer to the soil, immediately it will supply all the nutrient and will disappear. But organic manure is not like that. Once you apply, it stay in the soil for longer time, slowly or sustainably release the nutrient throughout the cropping period. So this is the biggest advantage of organic manure over inorganic manure. And other organic manure, concentrated organic manure, you can see almost in blood meal contain highest amount of nitrogen, that is 10 to 12 percentage. Likewise, meat meal followed by meat meal 10.5, and the fish meal based on the species of fish, the new nitrogen content will vary from 4 to 10. Horn and hoof, this is excellent nitrogen source, but it doesn't have any phosphorus and potassium. And also you can see here the raw bone meal and steamed bone meal contains a very good amount of phosphorus, like 20 to 30 percentage. It is very depending on the type of bones. And potassium is usually very low in the concentrated organic manure. Sometimes it may not supply the potassium to the crops. And the commonly used bulky organic manure nutrient concentration you can see. So the manures, once you collect the agriculture waste and you can convert into manure, like a farmyard manure, the poultry manure, raw material of poultry waste, and the cattle dung, cattle urine, sheep, goat dung, compost, green manure. So those are all having very minimum amount of nitrogen. So when you compare with the concentrated organic manure, the nitrogen content, phosphorus, potassium content are very low in bulky organic manure. So that is what I have explained in the beginning. They are available in large quantity, but their analytical value is very low. Similarly, you can see the agriculture waste also holds very lesser amount of nutrient, like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium from different sources of sugar cane, press mud, sawdust, tobacco waste, tea waste, cotton, textile waste, other agriculture waste also you can utilize for converting into bulky organic manure, but it will vary depending on the sources what you are choosing for making it farmyard manure. And in the next part of this session is fortified organic manure. What is fortified organic manure? Why it is important? So here you can see the fortified organics are enriching the organic manure with inorganic fertilizer. So as we have seen, the organic manure nutrient concentration is very low, that is low analytical value, which will not be sufficient for supplying the nutrient to the crops, growing crops, so that the inorganic fertilizer can be mixed along with the organic manures in a small quantity, so that we can increase the nutrient profile of this organic manure. So that is called a fortified organic manure. Addition of inorganic fertilizer to the organic manures while preparing, while composting. Okay, so this will increase the crop yield, as well as it can give the some additional nutrient to the crops. Example, sugarcane trash compost, coir pith compost, and enriched farmyard manure are regarded as a fortified organic manure. Here one example, you can see zinc enriched farmyard manure. Here the zinc micronutrient is mixing with the farmyard manure in the ratio of 1:10. 10 part of the organic manure and 1 part of zinc micronutrient or zinc sulfate. You can mix it, and you can maintain the moisture content and keeping for 1 month in shade drying, so that it will become ready. The zinc will be enriched in the organic manure, so that you can use it directly to the crops which is zinc loving. And sometimes while you are preparing the organic manures in your farm itself, you can fortify the organic manure with fertilizer, like you can make a trench or pit filled with biodegradable organic material, like crop residues or farm waste, animal feed waste, or any tree leaves, or collecting on day basis in your field. You can just put into the pit and make it uh, a thickness of 20 centimeters. So afterwards, you can add a layer of rock phosphate, followed by mica and other fertilizer like urea, whatever the fertilizer you want to add, you can add it. And the cow dung, cattle dung is mixed with water and make it slurry. Then it can be spread on the surfaces of rock phosphate or mica. So similarly, you can make it any number of layers, so that it will enrich completely. So this layering is repeated, and moisture content you have to maintain to 60%, and periodic turning also should be done. After 1 to 3 months, the compost is ready for application with the enriched nutrient. And the advantages of fortified organics, you can see large quantities of crop residue stubbles may be recycled back. Okay, no need to dump in any one place of your farm or field, and their nutrient availability and use efficiency can be increased. Huge amount of foreign exchange can be saved, because we are mostly depending on the importing of inorganic fertilizer, so that can be cut off. We can utilize the traditionally available organic manures in our farm, and reduce loss of nutrient from the soil and contamination of environment. Since it is an organic source, it will not make any pollution to the environment, and it will give you a job opportunity for the rural people as entrepreneur. Thank you.